Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. It is a football Friday. I'm out at Comalander Stadium. Reagan East Central tonight, first round of the playoffs. Always such a fun time of year, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous afternoon. Well, I got to say, when I got to the press box, 2 hours ago, it was really hot in here. And somebody has put on the air conditioning. And now it is really damn cold inside of this press box. It is what it is. James Pledger producing, as always. Of course, we want you to be a part of the show. On Twitter, Pledge is on Twitter at I am Pledger. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. And, of course, you can always dial up the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. James Pledger, your Houston Texans will not lose today or this weekend. But I see you sporting Houston Texans gear. Now, I don't really always pay attention to what you wear, except for when it's kind of outlandish and, you know, you're dressed way too nice to be working at a radio station.
So 90% of the time.
Pretty much. You got your cool Veterans Day, military appreciation, you know, the Texans gear, right? It's kind of camouflage.
Salute to service.
You're kind of, I knew there was a word for it, the salute to service gear that the NFL puts out. It's kind of camouflage, so you're kind of really, you know, supporting the military, but, you know, at the same time, yeah, I'm a Texan fan. They're not playing this week, so I'm going to break out my gear. I don't want to call you out. Like I said, I don't always pay attention to what you wear, but you haven't really worn a lot of your Texans gear at all this year.
Yeah, I have. I usually wear it on Sundays.
Oh, okay, because I never see you on a Sunday. So I'm just saying. I mean, all right, so your game day attire, but you're during the week attire.
I've worn it once or twice during the week, but not a whole heck of a lot. It's just, it was chilly outside this morning.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite hoodies, and it is Salute to Service Month.
I thought maybe you were just wearing it because you knew your team wasn't going to lose this week.
No, I want them to lose. I'm okay with it.
I know you keep telling yourself that, but you haven't been the fanboy that you normally are this year when it comes to your team. And so I thought it was interesting that today, of all days, the week that you guys are on a bye, you show up on a Football Friday wearing Houston Texans gear, knowing that they're not going to disappoint you this weekend, because even when you want them to lose, when you see the piss poor play that they're out there, it makes you angry.
No, because I know the entire thing hinges on what you get in return for Deshaun. That's where you start getting upset or mad, is once you actually know what you're working with moving forward. Right now, it's just it's a blank check. There's nothing to play for. You could tell by their signings this offseason, they weren't going to have a Deshaun. They gutted their roster for the most part. You knew what this was going to be, and you're just riding it out, waiting to see if you get the king's ransom that is a Deshaun Watson.
All right, that's enough Texans talk for the week. You look at you know, this big football Friday, all right? Big news today for football in San Antonio. You know, couple of weeks ago, it was announced that UTSA was moving to the American Athletic Conference. And we talked about how great that was for San Antonio. Same thing today with UIW. The Cardinals, they are moving to the WAC. So they're leaving the Southland, they're going to the WAC. Huge again for exposure for San Antonio as a city. You know, the fact that we now have a program in the American, now you're going to have a program in the WAC. That is just huge for San Antonio. What all the things that we talked about with UTSA, and while we're, you know, obviously different levels, huge for the overall football community, the university community in our great city of San Antonio. So, you know, to have a WAC team and an American team in the same city, I love this. I love this for UIW, because they, like we talked about with UTSA, they're not just standing pat and going with what they've been doing. This is huge for both programs, great for the city of San Antonio, and the financial commitment that UIW is making to athletics to move to the WAC is tremendous. We're going to talk about it with the president of UIW. He is going to join us, he being Dr. Thomas Evans, the UIW president. He's going to join us coming up at 4:30 to talk about that commitment and everything that it means for UIW and also for the city of San Antonio. As for UTSA, they've got a home game this week. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened before. Somebody out there in our great research department, that means you with a Google box in your car right now. Has UTSA ever been favored by 33? Is this the largest line that UTSA has ever posted? They are favored by 33 over Southern Miss in the Alamo Dome tomorrow. I got to tell you, that line scares me. I mean, it scares me. I think UTSA is going to destroy these boys, but a 33-point line, Southern Miss, that's crazy. I'm hoping we get 33,000 in the Dome. If we're favored by 33, should we get 33,000 in the Dome? I've heard they're going to open up some of the upper levels. People are wanting to get into go out there. You know, the winning breeds excitement. They haven't had a home game in seemingly forever in the Alamo Dome. The only thing I got a problem with is they're calling it an orange out. I don't own an orange UTSA anything. So I'm going to be there in blue.
Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
What do you mean?
You can't. It's an orange out. Buy an orange UTSA shirt. I know it goes against your my blue shirt, polo, everything. But for this one game, you have to get an orange UTSA shirt.
I don't think that I'm going to go to the store between now and when I leave for the tailgating to go buy me a new shirt that I'm never going to wear again. I don't even Sam Houston State, where my daughter went to undergrad, their colors are orange and blue. And then they kind of went to an all orange uniform. All my shirts are blue or black. Yeah, I got a couple of T-shirts that they hand out at like family weekend and whatnot that are orange, and I wear those around the house. I don't wear those out. I'm a UT fan. I have white UT shirts. I have black UT shirts. I have very few burnt orange shirts. I don't know that I would ever wear it again.
It's not about wearing it again.
I want to be that guy.
It's like going to a whiteout for a Spurs game and wearing a black one.
You know what? It happens. I'm curious how many people actually are going to go to the store and pick up an orange shirt just for this game.
You.
I'm not.
You should.
There's orange on the bill of my hat. Is that good enough?
It's not.
It is.
I'm going to tell Jeff Traylor on Monday.
You can. I mean, that dude wears a blue shirt every week. Do you think he's going to change up his routine and go with an orange shirt for the orange out?
I do.
I don't. He's creature of habit. He's a coach. He ain't changing nothing. Every game that I've gone to this year, I've worn the same shirt, and they've won them all. Why would I mess with that?
Because this is an orange out, Jason. You are being instructed to. Now you're just being obstinate.
No, I'm just being real. I mean, you know, I'm just being real. You know, yeah. I mean, and here's the funny thing. I've been to a lot of UTSA games this year, more this year than probably the last 2 or 3 years combined. Fred Villarreal says Sam says orange shirts for $13. You know, the problem is that's 2 beers at the Dome.
But you're gonna get a lot of free ones in the tailgate.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just not a fan of the orange out idea. And as many UTSA games as I've been to, more than half the people there aren't even wearing UTSA gear to begin with.
But this is the thing. We've been asking them because especially since
we've been asking people to go to the game.
Well, that too.
You know, go to the game. Go to the game. Go. Now I got to go buy an orange shirt.
Now you got to buy an orange shirt because
I don't want an orange shirt.
We've been trying to get them to make things that people can wrap their head around, like pillar ideas to where come and take it got taken away. Something they did in the fourth quarter of all the games before that. They haven't had any traditions like that in a while. Having an orange out game is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I want to be the guy that stands out in the crowd. You'll be able to find me. I'll be the one in blue with 20,000 other people are going to wear blue. I'm not borrowing your shirt, man.
People are trying to get you on board with the orange out, though. And I appreciate them for that.
I appreciate them, too. It's not cold enough, but I do have a UTSA half zip that is blue, but it has orange sleeves. Or maybe it has orange in the sleeves. I was looking around. I actually put some thought into this because generally I don't plan what I'm going to wear. It's just whatever's next. Unless I've got an event and I've got to wear something specific.
I'm aware.
But today I was thinking about, I don't have an orange shirt. But years ago, I did get one. And it was an orange, what was the bowl game in Albuquerque? The New Mexico Bowl.
The New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah,
the Gildan New Mexico Bowl.
I had a UTSA orange shirt for that. Apparently, it's already been donated to Goodwill. Apparently, it's already gone. I'm just saying.
Just like that, the memory of their first bowl is gone.
Well, I mean, again, it's an orange shirt. I'm never going to wear it again. I mean, I didn't even use that thing to mow the lawn. Then again, I don't mow the lawn. So, I mean, you look at it. I just, I have a bunch of shirts in the closet that you never wear, and every now and then you go through and they end up getting donated. That must have been what happened with that New Mexico Bowl T-shirt that I had. Because at one point I remember having that. Then I was looking at an even older stuff years ago when I used to do UTSA basketball on TV. I would get a couple of shirts. Even Joe Reinagle's texting. He has a couple of orange shirts I can wear. I'm not borrowing anybody's shirt.
I'm getting messages.
Reinagle, you're not going to wear one of those orange shirts either.
I'm getting messages for me saying if you wear orange to the game, they're going to bring us lunch Monday.
From where? See, I can be bought. I mean, if you're going to throw lunch into the mix, I'm just saying between now and when I go to tailgate, I'm not going to have time to go get an orange shirt. I just an orange, Trailer's not going to change his shirt. There is orange in the hat. There is orange in the blue polo. It's right there on the logo. It's close enough. Right? Are you wearing an orange shirt? Are you even going, Pledge?
I can't.
I mean, every time we've planned on going, you're the one that hasn't showed up at the tailgate. Is Rudy J going to wear an orange shirt tomorrow?
He better.
He'll look like a big-ass pumpkin, but is he going to wear an orange shirt?
He better.
Is he going?
He's all in. He's all in on the UTSA train.
Well, I know that, but I mean, I know because we're going to meet down there and go tailgating. Did he say he was going to go buy an orange shirt? See, I know Rudy J well enough right now. I don't know that he's going to go spend money on a new orange shirt that he's never going to wear again.
I think he will.
I don't know.
I know you just don't want to. And I'm being asked, where do you want lunch from?
Depends. I mean, it's Monday, so I'm at home. So it would have to be Tuesday when I'm up at the station hosting halftime from noon to 2. But we could work on that. We'll figure that out. In the meantime, text Rudy and ask him if he's got an orange shirt. I'll and figure out what he's going to do. And speaking of Jeff Traylor, and you mentioned it earlier. Remember the big come and take it flag that I saw somebody on Twitter, and I don't know who it was, but it's one of the students over there at UTSA, said they need to bring that flag back that they could put over. Instead of having come and take it, can they put don't eat the cheese? Now, Jeff Traylor is not the first coach to use the saying don't eat the cheese. He's not. It's been around forever. But Jeff Traylor this year, early on, it just became part of the media buzz that he had, right? He knew they were going to be good. They knew they were playing. So after you beat Illinois, don't eat the cheese. He started talking about it. Everybody else started talking about it as Roadrunner fever was spreading throughout the city of San Antonio. And now I don't know if it's because I'm so used to associating Don't Eat the Cheese with Jeff Traylor in this UTSA program. Every coach I hear mention it, I think that dude's stealing from Jeff Traylor, right? This morning, listening to Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, on with Rudy and Rob on R&R in the morning. Mike McCarthy joins them every Friday, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. He was asked about, your team coming out flat. Listen to what Mike McCarthy had to say this morning on R&R in the morning.
No, I mean, it's something you're always looking at the pulse of your football team. Frankly, I have a really cool video about Don't Take the Cheese, and it has some humor to it.
Yeah, he's got a video, Don't Eat Cheese. Didn't Jeff Traylor tell us about the videos he was playing to his boys? If you eat too much cheese, this is what can happen to you. Did Mike McCarthy call Jeff Traylor and say, hey, man, can you send me a copy of that video? I need to play it for my guys because we came out flat this week. So he's on, with Rob and Rudy talking about don't eat the cheese, right? Don't eat the cheese. Have a video. Same thing Jeff Traylor has talked about. Then Jerry Jones, he was on 105.3 The Fan. You know what Jerry was talking about? Don't eat the cheese.
Well, guys, this is a challenge, and this is going to be a significant game for us. But I can tell you one thing. You won't have any overconfident people coming to that stadium with the team or the coaches. We've had that cheese.
Yeah, they've already ate that cheese. Jerry watched the video. It was disgusting, man. No more cheese. And Mike McCarthy, spent a lot of time in Green Bay. You would think he would be a little bit more prone to cheese, right? A little bit. It is just kind of cool that so many of us now associate Don't Eat the Cheese with Jeff Traylor. That when you hear somebody else talking about it, another coach, you feel like they're just stealing from Jeff Traylor. They're stealing from UTSA. It really is kind of incredible. Don't eat the cheese and wear orange if you're going to the Dome tomorrow. Don't be that guy that doesn't wear orange. Oh, wait, that guy's me.
Yeah.
All right. So Rudy says he's going to wear an orange shirt.
Rudy says, and I quote, "Of course I'm wearing orange."
I don't believe him.
And
peer pressure is a bitch,
I've got somebody
man.
offering, they just need to know your size to bring extra large. They will bring a shirt, drop it off tonight. I can take it to you tomorrow. And they're bringing us lunch on Tuesday.
Who is this person? If you don't want to say their name.
Somebody that wants you.
Just, all right, Pledge, do me a favor because I'm busy.
Mark Thomas.
Mark, save your money, man. I appreciate it. Pledge, do me a favor because I'm busy. I'm working right now. Not that you're not working. Text Joanna. Tell her to go get me an orange shirt. Peer pressure's a bitch.
Isn't it?
Doesn't mean I'll wear it, but I will at least own it. Tell her to find a shirt that has some orange in it. But I'm undefeated in the shirt that I wear to the games that I've been to this year. I don't want to mess with the Mojo. They're 33-point favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a thought. I could just go tailgate and then go home. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I'm going down there.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this one. This one's going to be a lot of fun. I just don't like orange. Rudy's going to wear an orange print short sleeve, but Rudolph Rene is funny. Rudy's going to look like a damn pumpkin in an orange shirt. I'm very curious to see if he's actually, is Rob going to wear an orange shirt? See, if Rob was, I don't know. Rob would break out in a rash if that Aggie dude wore an orange shirt, even if it was UTSA orange. Right? I mean, that is the truth.
Rob has to wear orange too.
Rob is not going to wear orange. And if Rob was wearing orange, it would be a fishing shirt. He would wear an orange fishing shirt, and people would be coming by him thinking he's directing traffic. And do you park over here or do you park over there?
Which way to lot C?
I mean, you look at it. It's just it's just, it's yeah.
You're trying real hard to get out of this.
I've got a yellow Arizona State shirt.
That's not orange.
It's not orange. I'm never going to wear that thing. You see what I mean? It's blue or black.
Why did you get a yellow Arizona State shirt?
Because somebody in my family thought that I might like it. Because somebody in my family, Joanna, thinks I should wear more bright colors every now and then.
I agree with her.
I don't. But if you text Joanna and tell her that I might need an orange shirt for tomorrow. Steve Canto says, all that time with the iguanas and you don't have anything orange. That is correct. All of my iguana stuff was either black,
purple,
or white. No, it's funny. There were some purple polos, and no, I still don't have any. But I don't know that I ever even took a purple polo home. All of it was either black. I think the warm-ups that we had to wear on the bus were like purple and black with a white stripe or something. But yeah, no, my jerseys are white. I don't even have one of the orange jerseys. I have purple jerseys and I have white jerseys from the old Iguana days. Mm-hmm. So no. And like I said, even with my Sam Houston State stuff, black and blue, some that has a little bit more. Like I've got one shirt from Sam Houston that's like blue at the top and kind of orange on the bottom.
Now they're getting creative.
I'll just wear Sam Houston State stuff. Is that good enough?
I mean, that's orange, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's not UTSA. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. All right. So if an orange shirt ends up in my closet tonight, and Mark, I appreciate you willing to go buy one for me. Ben, I'm not going to borrow your clothes, dude. That's gross. Ryan Eagle, I'm not going to borrow your clothes. That's.
You see what this means to people, though.
What?
You wearing orange to this game for the orange out.
What do you mean?
All these, Joe, Mark, our entire Facebook and YouTube page, been offering to lend you shirts. Like, this means something to people.
No, they just want me to be uncomfortable and wear something I don't want to wear. They don't give a damn, actually, if anybody shows up in orange. It's just they know I don't want to do it. So let's see if you can make it do it. And like I said, peer pressure's a bitch. Text the wife if and here's the thing. It's Friday night. She's going to get off work. She's going to go shopping probably anyway because that's what she does. So, yeah, we'll make it work. Cowboys, Falcons this week. This is going to be an interesting game. Should be an easy win. Now my wife is texting me. Do I need to go get a shirt? Did you already text her? Or is she listening? She should already be listening. At work. Good Lord.
I'm in the middle of texting her right now. I haven't even sent it.
Mm-hmm. She should be at work right now. It's 4:23. Why is she not at work? This is when I can talk about my wife because I know she's not going to hear it. See, after 5 o'clock is when, you figure she's listening, so you've got to be careful. Before then, no. But yes, Joanna, apparently I need an orange shirt. And I'm just going to wear my blue shirt, even if she buys one. But, yeah. Because she knows the other part of that, too. If she goes and buys a shirt, that she'll have to go home and do laundry because I won't wear something that hasn't been washed.
Well,
that's kind of
there's plenty of time between now and tomorrow to get that washed.
You're killing me, Pledge.
What?
You're killing me. You are killing me. Cowboys, Falcons this weekend. We'll talk about it. Coming up 5:30, Jon Machota from The Athletic. He is going to join us. We'll talk some Aggie football with the voice of Texas A&M. Andrew Monaco will join us coming up at 5 o'clock, as he always does. Mike McCarthy was on R&R this morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Well, we'll play what Mike McCarthy had to say for you this morning here on the Blitz as we continue. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can tweet at James Pledger. He is at I Am Pledger. If I end up with an orange shirt, maybe I'll give it to you Monday at the Roo Pub, because Monday we're going to be live out at the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road, because it would be a one-time wear. Who knows? Although I never did give away that
Detroit Lions Hall of Fame Calvin Johnson shirt.
Yeah, it ended up in my closet with tags on it, by the way. It's still there. Nobody wanted that thing. John Gruden is suing the NFL. We'll look around all the games this weekend, figure out what the hell happened to Baltimore last night as they lose to the Miami Dolphins. You know it's going to get cold. You're going to need that half zip. Maybe a bright orange half zip, and you need your logo on it. You know what you do? You get into Sammy's Embroidery Club down on San Pedro, because he's got his winter line on display now. Jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips, beanies, all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Port Authority, and Sam has plenty of inventory in stock. And you think about, cold weather gear for your employees, especially those that work outside, but you also have to start thinking about your company Christmas party and what you're going to give as a gift to your employees. How about a nice jacket with your company logo on it? Sammy's Embroidery Club can get those done for you. Half zips with your company logo on it. You start thinking about what you're going to give your employees. Sammy's Embroidery Club is where you need to go. You need caps done. Sam has the largest selection of caps, including the popular Richardson style cap, and he's got them in stock. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts as well. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands, and all items do come with a warranty. Call Sammy's Embroidery at 210-824-3900, 824-3900. Go to the website, samsembroidery.com, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's for Sammy's Embroidery Club. UIW is moving to the WAC. We'll talk about it with UIW President Dr. Thomas Evans. He joins us next, right after Sports Center from James Pledger.
Thanks a lot, Jason. In college football, the undefeated and 23rd ranked UTSA Roadrunners in the college football playoff rankings are back home in the Dome for an orange out tomorrow afternoon. So everyone wear orange, Jason, as they welcome 1-9 Southern Miss into the Alamo Dome for a 2:30 kickoff. Texas Tech will face Iowa State tomorrow at 2:30, and Incarnate Word hits the road to take on Nicholls State at 3 o'clock. 11th-ranked Texas A&M heads to Oxford to take on 15th-ranked Ole Miss, with kickoff set for 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. A game you can actually catch over on our brother station, 550 KTSA and FM 107.1, while the Texas Longhorns look to get back on track and to 500 on the year as they take on the Kansas Jayhawks at 6:30 in Austin. In the NFL, the 6-2 Cowboys look to bounce back from their loss to the Broncos as they take on the 4-4 Falcons, who have won 3 of their last 4. Kickoff from AT&T Stadium is set for noon, a game you can catch right here on your home for the Dallas Cowboys, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM on Sunday. Finally, in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs look to get their second straight win as they welcome the Dallas Mavericks into the AT&T Center tonight for a 7:30 tip. I'm James Pledger.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
According to TxDOT, on average, 1 motorcyclist dies every day on Texas roads. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Whether you're driving for distance, pitching for precision, or putting to win it all, come to Edwin Watts Golf Shop to get custom fit for all your clubs throughout your bag. Hit a few balls and let our team show you the latest swing technology and data that will help optimize your game. Having each club tailored to become your gamers will help you start shooting lower scores. Let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you make every shot the perfect one. Come in and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
At Manrique Custom Vision, you'll find some people just aren't good candidates for Z-LASIK. That's why they have different technologies for different patients. They are a custom vision center focused on helping people get rid of their glasses and contacts. Rudy J here. Call them today for a complimentary consultation to see what's right for you. Financing is offered to all FSA and medical spending accounts accepted. Get treated like family by Dr. Manrique. Call 354-2020 for the Manrique difference. That's 354-2020.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4 TP to 85000 to apply.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hi, welcome to Furniture Depot. And you, come on in. Yes.
Couches are flying off the floor at Cheyenne's Furniture Store.
Sarah, can you go over to dining sets, please?
She needs more sales associates before shoppers take their seats elsewhere.
Can somebody get me a price check on trundle beds?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At CDW, we get the path of progress is complicated, but CDW Amplified Services experts can collaborate with you, develop roadmaps, handle deployment, and manage your environment so you can achieve your goals faster than you thought possible. From implementing advanced cybersecurity techniques to optimizing your multi-cloud environment, we'll help you design, orchestrate, and manage the solutions your organization needs so we reach the finish line together. But you get all the glory. CDW Amplified Services. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/services.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Get the latest on what's happening on the NBA hardwood.
Behind the back dribble to the rim and the flush.
Right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250, 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Football Friday. Huge news today for the city of San Antonio, as the UIW football team is currently on a plane heading down to New Orleans for a big game on the road this weekend. There was a big announcement today at UIW that they are moving conferences. They are leaving the Southland and they are moving up to the WAC. Let's talk about it with the president of UIW, Dr. Thomas Evans, joining us now. Dr. Evans, appreciate the time today. Congratulations on this milestone move.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me on today.
Dr. Evans, talk about what it means for UIW athletics to move up conferences and join the WAC.
Well, it means a lot for us competitively. You know, the WAC has an amazing brand. It's been around for a while, and what they've really put together now with competition in Texas and then in major metropolitan areas of Phoenix, Los Angeles, around the Salt Lake City area, and Seattle. It's a great extension for us to be able to play teams locally, create and revisit new rivalries, and also to have our student athletes across the country. It means a lot for us also to have, you know, we have 23 sports here, and the WAC sponsors 20 sports. We'll be the only institution that has all 20 of those sports. The remaining 3 being fencing, men and women's fencing, and synchronized swimming that we have here. So that's exciting for us to have everything in one conference rather than to have to affiliate in other conferences. And it means a lot academically to us to be aligned with these schools, many of which are doctoral granting institutions like ourselves. And I think there's a lot we can do with academic partnerships.
Dr. Thomas Evans joining us here on the Blitz. He's the president of UIW. You got to UIW a couple of years ago, Dr. Evans. When you first showed up on campus and you were looking at the athletics and the department as a whole, and I know with new AD Richard Duran, there's been a lot happening with the department. Eric Morris coming on, what they're doing on the football field, obviously success in other sports as well. But this jump is a major financial commitment to athletics. What does that actual financial boost and those numbers actually look like for UIW moving forward as you move into that new conference?
Well, there's an expense side and there's a revenue side. So the revenues increase as well, and we've had record years with ticket sales, sponsorships, and you know, there's also a nice boost with ESPN contract through the conference. So it balances out really nicely. And when you do kind of an apples to apples comparison, you're looking at a lot of conference shifts. In fact, we were looking in the Southland at playing in Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, places that we hadn't been traveling to out, you know, really outside of Texas and Louisiana. So there was added expense there that we were able to kind of evaluate against the WAC. And really with the WAC, I think there's more upside than on the revenue side than we'll see on the expense side. Time will tell, but I really think financially there's a gain here.
Well, and you look at it, and obviously more exposure for the university, more exposure for your student athletes, more exposure for your coaches and the program as a whole as you build the brand there. And you look around the college landscape, and, you know, it kind of feels like the domino effect of Texas and OU deciding to go to the SEC, and you've seen all the shifting, you know, UTSA jumping up to the American. I said, man, that's great for the city when they did that. Earlier today, I said, this is great for the city to see UIW taking the jump to the Southland Conference. But with that, you know, facilities, I look at Benton Stadium and I compare that to some of the other stadiums in the WAC, and, you know, basketball. You know, my wife, while she got her undergrad at UIW, her master's program came from Grand Canyon, and graduation was in their basketball gym. And we know the kind of basketball GCU plays, right? So you look at that. Now I start thinking about facility upgrades that I guess you probably already had to talk about that. What's that look like?
Yeah, Jason, you're absolutely right. First of all, the San Antonio benefit I think is very real. These are teams that do travel. Certainly those that are in the state travel, but then also you look at something like GCU, they have fans that travel, and big basketball push there. Hoping to be a 2-bid conference someday. That would be fantastic. And so as we grow and as the university grows, you know, and part of it that's really wonderful for us is we now have some elbow room where we can move some things around and start to renovate and even move offices to give us a little bit more space that should help us in the improvement of our facilities. So we're looking at grandstands in baseball and softball that are long overdue. The Benson Stadium, as you said, it's it seats 6,000, but might need to do more. There's enclosures one could do over time, and then basketball, we'll do some upgrades there, whether it's seating, locker room, video board, meeting room space, and then really I think ultimately probably need to look at new playing opportunities, whether they're on or off campus. So they're very serious about basketball, as you know, in the West Coast Conference, and GCU in particular has a really phenomenal facility. I think they're probably the best in the conference right now.
I would agree with that. Dr. Thomas Evans joining us here. He's the president of UIW. What's it like when you are either seeking a new conference or a conference comes after you? And I don't know. Well, I'll ask. Did they come after you, or were you looking around seeking a new conference to potentially leave the Southland to go join?
We were first approached by them. They were looking for another football school, preferably in Texas, to get to the automatic qualifier limit and add to the number so that we wouldn't have to do the kind of things that limit you in terms of competition that we were seeing in the Southland Conference. But, the Southland Conference was very gracious. I don't know if you've seen the quotation by Tom Burnett, but that was really wonderful. And our relationship's still strong there as it now is with the WAC. So it was nice to be wanted by both conferences and put us in a situation where we just really needed to be very honest with everybody about our assessment and the process that we were going through and how we would make a decision on what to do with whether staying in the Southland or going to the WAC. And ultimately, for the reasons that you've even noted of brand exposure, markets, being places where there are really large populations and there's population growth for an institution like ours seeking to continually reach out and attract some of the best and brightest and grow the institution, the WAC really became the better choice for us.
And when you go through it, I mean, I imagine months of meetings and all kinds of stuff. Was there a point where you thought, man, I don't know if this is worth it, or is this going to happen? Or once the conversation started, it was just a matter of getting all the fine details worked out?
Honestly, it's a time-consuming process, and it is months in the making. And with all the conference changes, you're also trying to look and see what's happening within other conferences. And I think this week, in particular, we were able to perhaps see a little bit more stability with Conference USA and MAC making statements that they were going to be where they are now in terms of membership, and then maybe that's settling things down. And it was nice for us to kind of be, maybe one of the last to make a move. Although we'll see. It's still a wild time in conferences across the country.
It really is. When everything got finalized, you get everybody in the room and pop some champagne and celebrate?
We've been so busy, we haven't been able to do that yet. We've just been working a lot on the, on the releases and making sure that on both sides with our colleagues in the Southland Conference and also in the WAC that we're really good with communications and trying to make sure that we're that we're very collegial and want to act in the manner in which we want to at the University of the Incarnate Word, which is always being transparent and honest throughout the process.
So one more year in the Southland, and then it's next July 1 that it actually takes place when you make the move, right?
Correct, July 1. So really just through this spring.
Oh, through this spring. So next football season, it's WAC time.
Next football season is WAC, correct.
That is going to be awesome, because I look at, with that win last week, 55-52 over Southeastern, you're going to take the Southland Conference football trophy home and just never give it back, right? I mean, it's going to be yours forever.
Jason, I hope you're right. That was one of the most exciting games I have ever seen. And of course, I was thrilled with the ending of it, but two amazing quarterbacks, two great teams. We need to win out. Nichols tomorrow, which is a tough place to play. We have our final two games on the road, Houston Baptist after Nichols. So hopefully we can win out and bring the trophy back to San Antonio.
Bring it back,
and then head off to the playoffs, I hope.
And then head into, but again, you'll win the Southland Conference trophy and then leave the conference. I think that's a brilliant plan. That's a great way to exit as the champion.
We would love that.
Good deal. Congratulations. A big day for San Antonio. Huge, obviously, for UIW as you guys are moving to the WAC. Dr. Thomas Evans, I know you've got an extremely busy schedule with all kinds of things. I appreciate you taking some time out to join us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jason. Appreciate it. Go Cardinals.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. Go Cardinals. Dr. Thomas Evans, president of UIW, joining us here as they are moving to the WAC. And you think about San Antonio now, home of a WAC program and a program that's moving to the American. And you think about how long college football has been played here at this level. I know Trinity's had a team for a long time, and they're at Division III, and they're killing it with what Jeremy Urban is doing over there. But, for UIW, where that program started, where UTSA started, that is huge for the city of San Antonio. It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Lots of college football to talk about, games happening this weekend. And is TCU zeroing in on a coach named Prime? Could happen. We'll talk about it as we continue here on the Blitz. Let me tell you about Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer. If you're shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle, there's no better place to go than Ancira because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. When you start the car buying process, they're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They will give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and their service after the sale is second to none. And price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
The Saturday Morning Hangover. Saturdays 9 till 11 with James Pledger and Jack Thompson. Roll out of the sack as the guys recap the weekend sports and deliver in-depth takes on the weekend's upcoming action. On San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's that time of year again when Smoky Mo's Barbecue is gearing up to smoke Thanksgiving turkeys for our neighbors in the San Antonio area. Each turkey will be made using our secret rub and smoked to perfection in-house. You can buy it solo or with our feast that includes sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, and a delicious pumpkin pie from Tootie Pies. Pre-order at SmokyMo'sBarbecue.com or by calling your store. Don't dawdle. We sell out every year. Happy Smoked Turkey Day, y'all, from Smoky Mo's Barbecue.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and SouthernRecipeSmallBatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
If your dream vacation doesn't include your spouse, it may be time for a permanent getaway. Call DivorceDude.com at 210-201-0303 and ask for Mark, the Divorce Dude with Pulling Law PLLC. DivorceDude.com can help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude can fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. If the marriage is over, why fight? DivorceDude.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. Slackers is your home to 7 days a week happy hour, and they now start at noon every day. And by popular request, Slackers brings back their signature frozen drinks. Visit SlackersBarsSA.com for more info.
The annual San Antonio Auto and Truck Show is November 12th through the 14th. We're partnering with some of SA's favorite pet organizations for the Subaru Loves Pets initiative. With on-site pet adoptions, you can see new cars and trucks and take home a furry friend that just might like to ride in one. Get your tickets now.
Get the latest scores and more from high school football online anytime at 210varsity.com. Sponsored by the San Antonio Express News, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Sarah Spain, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. It's a football Friday. Here on San Antonio Sports Star tonight, playoff football, our Hill Electric High School game of the week. Reagan against East Central. This is going to be a fun one tonight here at Comalander Stadium. Kevin Brock and myself, we will have the call coming up pregame at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. You think about the college football this weekend, and there's a lot of really good games on the schedule. Of course, we've got the Orange out in the Dome. UIW, they're on the road. Tough games, Texas and Kansas. You know, it's interesting. UTSA is a 33-point favorite over Southern Miss. I think Texas is at 30.5 over Kansas.
That's correct.
I wouldn't touch either of those games. And I sure as hell wouldn't put $1 on on Texas to cover that line. I mean,
I do have some faith in UTSA to cover.
You know, see, even then, I mean, that is just such a big line. And I know Southern Miss, they're a 1-8 football team, but my God, I mean, you know, Southern Miss, not record-wise. I'm just talking name brand-wise. Isn't that where UTSA wants to be? Like somebody says, Southern Miss, I automatically think of Brett Favre, right? I mean, I know that's where he went to school. I hear the name, I see the logo, I know exactly what it is. Now they're having a rough year. You know, years down the road, maybe somebody says, UTSA, isn't that where Sincere McCormick went? Isn't that where Frank Harris went? That's where they're trying to get to, right? I mean, that's what it is. I wouldn't touch either of those lines. OU Baylor, that could be an interesting game because Baylor obviously coming off that disappointing loss to TCU. OU undefeated, but they certainly don't pass the eye test. They don't look like a good football team, but they're the worst undefeated team I've ever seen. I mean, you look at an undefeated record and it's hard to slam them, but they've had some ugly games, including one against Kansas. I don't know, because I saw it on Twitter, if it was real or somebody having a little fun with graphics. But they were talking about Alabama football in their game this week. And it was on Twitter as it was scrolling by, and it looked like it was, you know, one of the graphics that got put on ESPN. And it was Alabama and Nick Saban at the podium, and it just said 0-1 versus the Aggies this season. I don't know if that was real or not, but it made me laugh when I saw it, because Alabama has New Mexico State this weekend. You know, it's one of those bye weeks for midseason buys for Alabama. They've got the Aggies again. They're 0-1 against the Aggies this year. I believe they will even up the record this weekend. Michigan, Penn State could be interesting. And then you look at what TCU's got going on. TCU, and when I first saw this, I didn't know how serious it was. Because, again, you know, there's an opening, and you hear a gazillion names talked about for a coaching job. Deion Sanders, who is proven to be one hell of a college football coach, is a true candidate for the TCU job. When I first heard that, I thought, seriously? But apparently he did interview, according to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Not only did he interview, it was a strong interview, and he is, quote, squarely in the mix to be the next head football coach of TCU. Prime time. Prime. Coach Prime.
There you go.
Coach Prime. Their running back, Zach Evans, tweeted out, "We want Prime." If you're a player, wouldn't you? I mean, look at what that guy has done. I mean, it was one thing when he was doing it on the private school level in Texas where, you know, basically you could buy everything you needed. But he's gotten it done at the college level. and his ability to motivate players, his ability to put together a game plan, and more importantly, put together a staff. But Deion Sanders legitimately wants to be a coach and everything that comes along with being a head coach. I remember Deion back in the 90s, his playing days, being around him. I never thought that guy would be a coach. And when he first got into coaching, I thought, well, this kid's there. This is fun. This is neat. There's some guys that you look at and say, yeah, he's going to be a good coach. I never thought that about Deion Sanders. I mean, smart football guy, smart guy. If you ever sit down and just talk with Deion Sanders, he is a smart guy. But I looked at all his other interests and thought, coaching, no. Businesses and that sort of stuff, yes. Vacations and that sort of stuff, yes. The hours that it takes to be a college football coach, I never thought that would be Deion Sanders. And I'm glad that it's worked out. And for him to now have an opportunity to, jump on a Big 12 school, I think that's incredible. I think TCU, it's out there. Don't they have to make the deal now? I mean, the excitement, one, you got Deion back in Dallas. You got SMU making moves. You've got recruiting for the Big 12, which is going to be wide open. And with Texas and OU leaving the Big 12, who's going to be the dominant program? You think it's going to be Texas Tech? You think it's going to be Mike Gundy? Or do you think it's going to be prime time? I mean, seriously. TCU has to make this happen. The fact that it's out that he interviewed well, he's in the mix. What are they going to give the job to Sonny Dykes? You talk about a letdown. And think about your players already tweeting about who they want. Recruits thinking about who they would want to go play for. You don't think Deion Sanders could go in and steal a kid from Baylor? Can steal a kid that was committed to Texas Tech? Can steal a kid that was committed to you name it? I mean, if they're looking at Big 12 type schools and Deion Sanders gets in the mix and says, I want you to come here, players are going to go play for Deion Sanders. And then when, the other part of being a college football coach, all the boosters meetings and engagements that you have to go to try to get rich people to write a big check, Deion can separate a man from his money pretty easy. You put that man in front of a crowd of people and give him a microphone, and then he asks you to pass the plate, you're going to reach into your wallet and put some money in there. Because he will take TCU to a level that I don't think many people thought was possible. And you think about all the things Gary Patterson has done. They hit a ceiling, and they've been coming down for a handful of years. And I think that TCU did Gary Patterson wrong by doing it in the middle of the year, but they did it, I think, kind of like what Texas Tech did, with a couple of coaches in mind, one of which got locked up into a 10-year, $28 million extension to stay in San Antonio. So you've got Deion Sanders apparently right there. Make him the coach. It's going to happen. Prime time. Think of all the different purple frog type prime time things you can come up with.
And I just can't wait to keep saying Coach Prime.
Well, I mean, it's just to have them there. I mean, I could give a damn about TCU about 98% of the time. I would care about TCU if Deion Sanders was the head coach. I mean, I'd pay attention to their press conferences. I'd pay attention to their games. I'd pay attention to everything that they're doing. And right now, I don't. I don't. I mean, you add a coach like that, and all of a sudden, I'm interested in TCU. If they hire Sonny Dykes, I'm probably less interested than I am now. I mean, I think that's the kind of difference that Deion Sanders would make. It'd be incredible. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. The Aggies, They got a big one this weekend. Let's talk about it. A&M against Ole Miss. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, he joins us next. Whether you're going to a high school game tonight, you're thinking about your college tailgating tomorrow, you know you're going to have some sausage a part of your mix because it can't be a tailgate without some sausage wraps, and you want the best sausage, and that is Kielbasa Smoked Meats and their great Kielbasa sausage. No game day is complete without sausage, and you want that very best sausage, you need to get in the store and get yourself some great Kielbasa sausage. You go to a high school game tonight, you get yourself a sausage wrap. I want you to know that sausage wrap is so perfect because of the forward-thinking people at Kielbasa when they started the company here in San Antonio back in 1949. They designed the length of their sausage to fit perfectly in a tortilla because they're from San Antonio and they understand tortillas, they understand sausage wraps, and the beauty that goes with that. So you get into the store, get your cold beverages, get yourself some tortillas, and make sure you get some Kielbasa today.
Rock the Mic moves into the voting phase. 12 finalists, live auditions, and only one 2021 Rock the Mic winner.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague, the Rock the Mic 2 winner.
Vote for your favorite Rock the Mic champ now at sasportstar.com. And join us for the live auditions from Slacker Sports Bar throughout November. Only one will be crowned the 2021 Rock the Mic champion. Presented by Slacker Sports Bar and in part by Jim B. Rock the Mic on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes, it's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase a pair of select wiper blades. Our professional parts people will even install them for free. Plus, earn triple O Rewards points. Get ready for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Camera Exchange is having their biggest sales event of the year, the 2021 Fall Expo, November 19th to the 21st. The Camera Exchange will pay sales taxes on all Canon purchases, including the Canon R5, Canon R6, Canon T8i, and the Canon RF 50mm 1.2. Everyone will get a gift card at the door worth up to $200 and prizes every day. The Camera Exchange Fall Expo, November 19th to the 21st. The Camera Exchange, 1 mile inside Loop 410 on San Pedro, online at camerax.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Out at Comalander Stadium, playoff football tonight, Reagan and East Central. Kickoff coming up at 7 o'clock here on San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow afternoon, not really a playoff game, but it might have that kind of atmosphere around it as A&M takes on Ole Miss. Let's talk about it with the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies, Andrew Monaco, already down partying in the Grove, joins us now. Andrew, man, your Friday's probably better than mine.
No, you've got high school playoff football in San Antonio. Are you kidding? That's awesome.
You've got a party in the Grove tonight. In fact, our stat guy, John Robbins, isn't here tonight because, he is in Oxford partying right now in the Grove, getting ready for the game tomorrow. His annual Aggie road trip is down there.
And he picked this one. He chose well.
Well, I know John, and he's gone on some great road trips before, and they were great on Friday nights for him. Saturdays were a little lukewarm, and the drive home Sunday kind of sucked. How do we make sure his drive home doesn't suck on Sunday?
You know what? Keep dominating the lines of scrimmage, Jason. That's been the key to success in this 4-game winning streak. Offensive line allowing Isaiah Spiller and Devon Achane to run nearly another game with both of them over 100 yards. And that defensive line imposed its will. Jimbo joked, but he was a little serious. He said, you know what? Defense, you outscored Auburn 7-3. And when that happens, that's real good. Tyree Johnson will be closer to 100%. 8 sacks last 4 games for him. Michael Clemens has just been dominating. And you know what? I've said this before. You want to have fun at a game? Just watch number 8 on that D line, either at a defensive tackle or a defensive end. DeMarvin Leal, he demands so much attention from those offenses. You have to know where number 8 is, and enjoy it while you can. Well, I shouldn't say that. Enjoy it while you can. And with Maroon, he's going to be playing next level, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love it when San Antonio area guys dominate at the next level, and then we get to watch them take that next step into the pros. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz. Let's talk about last week's game against Auburn. The defensive game plan that Mike Elko put together. And a week ago, we were talking about Bo Nix and the fact that he's been inconsistent, and trying to get him uncomfortable, obviously, is the key. And A&M did that. I mean, that was one of the more impressive defensive efforts that I've seen in a long time. Offense, yeah, not so much. But, I mean, you got to win, and the defense was incredible.
Defense was incredible. And, it's funny. We always go into matchups, and we talk about the other teams and maybe their offensive coordinator, and we talk about the Aggies and what Jimbo Fisher does offensively. And I know before this season, I did ask Jimbo, and I have an opportunity every Wednesday to talk with the broadcasters in the SEC. We do a segment on our talk show in College Station. And I always ask him, I said, hey, what are your coaches saying about our defense? And Auburn said, look, we played Georgia, and they are legit. He said, but you have to understand, our coaches are talking about A&M the same way that they talked about Georgia. I think Mike Elko has been outstanding. I think 4 years under him, and with the talent that he and Jimbo and Elijah Robinson on that D-line, and Terry Price on that D-line that they have assembled, and Tyler Santucci, the linebacker coach, you're really seeing it come to fruition. And look, they were able to stop Tank Bigsby, and that was big because he was able to run. Auburn can run the football. They were able to to really limit him and contain Bo Nix. Jimbo said this on Monday. Auburn's big plays were 7 or 8 yards, not 20 or 25 yards. And they can be backbreakers when it comes to momentum. I just, they're tackling in space. They've got the discipline. They're going to see an awful lot of eye candy, that's for sure. And a different tempo than they've seen all year on Saturday. But you come back with that confidence. That's an Auburn offense that was averaging 35 points a game. And to not allow them into the end zone, 2 field goal attempts, one that's made, one that's wide, and then they put it away with a defensive play of their own is really something. And they're forcing turnovers. They hadn't been doing that early in the season. Now they are. Another product from that area, right? Jalen Jones, Cibolo Steele, another pick for him, and it's just been lights out on the corners. And I don't think you can discount, Jason, that, he's back. But on that other side is a true freshman in Tyreek Chappelle, who is replacing Miles Jones, with Brian George replacing Miles with the foot injury. Brian's out for the season. Here's the true freshman. And I think he's played as well as anybody at either of those 2 cornerbacks. That's what's been really solid. We're seeing that kind of talent on that defensive side of the football for A&M. And that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And
that talent
was it's almost Wrecking Crew-like. And I know you have to bring that up. They're not the Wrecking Crew because the game is different. But you hold someone to 3 points in the SEC, man, that is it. To me, it makes a statement on the type of defense it is.
Well, and a bigger statement that it was Auburn. that was, scoring a bunch of points. I mean, no offense to Vanderbilt, but if you hold Vanderbilt to 3, you probably should. And I think that defense gets tested here, with Lane Kiffin. I never really know what to expect, from his offenses. I mean, like Mike Leach runs the ball more than people realizes he runs the ball. I think Lane Kiffin probably runs the ball more than people realize he runs the ball, but it's going to be high tempo. Can Mike Elko draw it up again? Can that defense do it in back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, and you talk about that running game. How about all 3 of their running backs, Jerry Neely, Henry Parrish Jr., and Snoop Connor? They're all over 400 yards. So that's a backfield that has 1,300, 1,400 yards. It doesn't matter if it's one back or if it's those 3 backs. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 4 backs are over 400 yards. Matt Corral's their leading rusher at 528 with 10 touchdowns. You've got to be disciplined. And Jason, all week during practice, you identify what Ole Miss is lined up in, and that gives you an idea. Now, what they do, like you were saying, that tempo is completely different from anything that we're going to see. But if Ole Miss thinks that this team's going to get tired, the reason why I say that, they have different packages, dime, nickel, quarter. They even have a dollar package that they call it. You could put different personnel. But it's not as if DeMarvin Leal can't stop the run and the pass. The same thing with Michael Clemens and Tyree Johnson. Maybe some of your defensive tackles are a little bit different, but your linebackers normally play all 3 downs. Maybe we'll see Edgerrin Cooper a little bit more. And the secondary is used to that as well. So it's not like trying to take advantage of the wrong personnel. I think that's what's also impressive is you've got more complete defensive players on that side of the ball, but you've got to be disciplined, Jason. You got to have that eye discipline. Don't get tricked by that eye candy that's talked about. They didn't in the past against Auburn. They'll show you some of that. They saw it in some previous games. Didn't do as well against Arkansas, that's for sure, or Mississippi State. Certainly hope that they've learned from that this Saturday against Ole Miss.
Andrew Monaco, voice of the Texas A&M Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. You can listen to Andrew's call over on our brother station, AM 550 KTSA and 107.1 FM. Pregame show will get going, around lunchtime, and kickoff is 6 o'clock Central. You look at... Well, you're in SEC country. You got to have 3-day long pregame shows, right?
I was just joking because there are some. It's not like you're telling a joke. It's every joke has a hint of truth in it, and you're absolutely right when it comes to the SEC schools.
Well, and I try to remember. I think yours is officially an hour, though, right? But sometimes I feel like you've been on for 3 when I turn it on.
Yeah, sometimes it does feel like that, and sometimes we have a tendency, the 3 of us, Dave Elmendorf, Will Johnson, I, on that post game, we kind of linger because we have so much fun together. And I apologize if they drag a little bit, but the 3 of us get together and we don't see each other again until Monday. So we try to make the most of it.
See, the broadcasting tip there is the longer you're working on the pregame, the less time you have to wait to be on the bus to go to the airport. And if you're down there too soon, you might end up having to carry equipment bags or coolers or things like that. So if you're one of the last ones on the bus, see, that's called a vet move. You just don't want to miss the bus because coaches aren't waiting for a broadcaster.
No, I learned that very early in my career, baby. They don't wait for us at all.
Sometimes they forget you're way up there, and it comes with the territory. Now, when I think about we're talking so much about the A&M defense and how incredible it was. Last week, the offense, man, the run game, the quarterback play. I mean, Auburn did a hell of a job defensively as well. I don't know that you're going on the road and beating Ole Miss with that same kind of offensive output.
Well, where Ole Miss has a little bit of a deficiency is they can't stop the run, and that has been a strength for Texas A&M. The other thing was there were some drops last week, and talking with Anaya Smith and Jalen Weidemeyer, and they said, we can't do that to our leader. And that's how they refer to Zach Calzada. The thing that gets me is, and I think I said this on the air to Dave, I said, look, when Anais drops one, you better believe he's not going to drop another one in that game because he's going to make it up to Zach. But it's that run, it's that offensive line now. And you know what? Those true freshmen are no longer true freshmen. They're becoming sophomores. They've got these games under their belt, and it really is starting to gel. And Kenyon Green, who's part of the he's part of the finalists for the Lombardi Award, there's only one other Aggie won that award. He could join Dat Win on that list. It's impressive, and he's been good, and he's the leader of that line. But Bryce Foster at center has solidified that spot. Jameer Johnson, his SEC experience being that grad transfer from Tennessee. Reuben Fothery on that right tackle, I don't think gets as much credit as he probably should. True freshman, 6'8", great size, really an athlete. He played basketball as well in high school. And then Layden Robinson being back and consistent. So to have that 5, they're setting the tone. They're winning that line of scrimmage against some good D lines. And look, Sam Williams is a name you're going to have to remember. They're going to have to keep him away from the running backs and the quarterbacks. But the sacks are down. And Jason, the negative plays are down because of that offensive line. So instead of facing 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12, it's 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 4. That helps a quarterback like Zach Calzada, that's for sure. So Ole Miss is going to have to tighten up that line. Now, if they try to put 8 in the box, you got to be careful because the Aggies will get either the receivers coming out of the backfield, or they'll find Aniyah Smith, or they're going to have to find a way to stop Jalen Weidemeyer, a tight end who really seems to hurt other teams who want to take something else away. But if they want to put that, Jalen will also block. He becomes that 6th offensive lineman as well because he's a complete tight end.
Fun fact for you, Andrew. You mentioned that winning his Lombardi Trophy. It is in a nice box in his garage.
Is it real? I knew you were going to know that. I knew with your partner you were going to know that. He's one of the most humble people ever, isn't he? You talk about great players and extremely humble. You got to put Dad on that list, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. When you go if you walk into Datwin's house, you would never know that he was a pro athlete or a big time athlete. I've been into, somebody's home and they've got every jersey they ever played for framed throughout the house, or they've got their trophy room, or, Dat had one photo that was kind of a painting from his playing days. And that was it. Outside of that, you wouldn't know. It's like, dude, where's your Lombardi? And it was, he's like, it's in a box over here, and there was stuff stacked up and all that. Yeah, it's not on display anywhere. It's paperweight.
It's just amazing. But you know what I mean? It's a paperweight. There are so many people who, when you see that number 9 jersey, and look, I even love seeing them in the Cowboy jersey because I know how much he means that. But he was a favorite for so many people, so many Aggies, and to know him personally, and you know him probably as well as anybody. It's just so impressive. I would love to see Kenyon Green because I think Kenyon has that same effect. I think Kenyon has been that has had that much impact on that offensive line for Jimbo Fisher, and I'm thrilled that he's nominated and a finalist for that. But here's a kid who really lets his play do it. He's played everywhere on this line. There's an unselfishness, and I think that's going to help him next level as well because you can only carry so many offensive linemen in the pros, and for him to play different positions probably allows him to stick wherever he's going to go.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. Before I let you go, I need to get your input. There's very nothing to do with A&M, but college football for sure. So UTSA is having an orange out for their game tomorrow. They're favored by 33 points. They're playing a 1-8 Southern Miss team, right? UTSA, should wait, but it's an orange out game.
Yeah.
I don't own an orange shirt. I said on the air, I'm going to wear my blue shirt, and people are mad at me. Do I need to go to the store and get an orange shirt, or am I going to be okay wearing a blue shirt? Like if you were going to something and it's a color you don't wear well or like. I mean, even when my daughter was at Sam Houston State, all my shirts were either blue or black, not orange. Even when they went dominant orange, even my UT shirts are black or white, not burnt orange.
No, you got to get orange.
Andrew, come on, man! I thought you were going to be on my side. I thought we were friends.
I'm going back to the red, white, and blue out to start the season. Where you stuck out like a sore thumb. Either you thought they were a Kent State fan, or you stuck out like a sore thumb. Like even maroon didn't work in those sections. I think you have to wear orange, or on your blue shirt you have to say, "I don't look good in orange." How about that?
Well, I mean, the hat that I have does have an orange bill.
No, it doesn't. No, you have to get orange. Thank God that game's after Halloween. That's for sure.
Well, that's like Rudy J, who hosts with Rob Thompson in the morning. He said he was going to wear orange. And I don't know if you've seen Rudy J, man, that guy's going to walk around looking like a big old pumpkin.
Yeah, that's a big old orange. Yeah, but no one's going to make fun of him. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not going to do that. Jason, do you get mad at people who go to the AT&T Center and don't wear the giveaway shirts?
No,
okay.
It depends. Some like if it's. All right. See, now I'm catching myself. So, there when I look down and I'm trying to say this as nice as I can, if they are able to wear it and choose not to, But then when I look down and there's no way that person was going to be able to fit in the shirt they left on the chair, I can't be mad at them. You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, the other problem was, you know what? When you have blinged out your Tony Parker or Manu jersey or Tim Duncan jersey, there's no way you're putting anything over that, right? You want to show everybody what, all that bling. I totally get it. But teams throughout the NBA have to understand no one really fits in a medium.
Well, that's it. But, they come cheaper. That's why they're the free ones. Only James Pledger. Only James Pledger is going to get the medium shirt and say, this thing is too big for me.
Truth.
Jason, you realize that the end of the interviews are always my favorite with you. You know that.
I appreciate that.
I love the entire time together, but I love because you look at things just a little bit different, man. That's what I love about it.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out too, not that what I wear to the game has any control over the outcome of the game, but I've worn the same shirt to every UTSA game I have gone to this year, and it's undefeated.
Well, you know what? Maybe that needs to go on there. Sorry, not wearing orange. This shirt is undefeated. You'll probably get a pass.
And it's the only one I have, so I don't really have any other options. There's that too.
You don't have to put that one on there. Yeah, and please don't go shirtless. Even though it's a dome, please don't go shirtless.
Wow, you offend me. See, now you're giving me an idea. I can go to the tailgates, and there's a tailgate group there that has a ridiculous drinking game that if I actually participated in it, after about 4 minutes, I might be in a state of mind to take off my shirt and let them paint orange on my chest.
Now, if you do that, I fully endorse that move, including the drinking part.
The drinking part, yes. The painted chest, not so much. I'm setting myself up for a keg stand tomorrow. I can see now. I'm gonna be on IR all of next week.
You and John Robbins are going to be out next week. That's going to be the problem.
We might be. I mean, we'll see. Carl Schoening might have next week's second round playoff game if I don't survive this weekend's game down at the Alamo Dome. And let's face it, they're playing a 1-8 Southern Miss team. There's going to be a heavy drinking involved if you're going to that one.
Great point. That's a great point.
Maybe equal to what's going to be happening tonight and tomorrow at the Grove there in Oxford.
Maybe could be kind of equal.
Not that you go out drinking heavily the night before a big broadcast, but will you go down and party in the Grove tonight and check out that scene?
I'll check it out. There'll be no drinking there, but I love being able to check it out anytime that we're on campus. I love that. I walk it if I can walk it on Friday. When we set up, we get to go that day early because we come in on Thursday nights. I love to walk around the campus, not just the stadium, and I love to see that. I'll do that even during basketball and baseball season. Because baseball, you have way more time for the campus and the town itself, and in basketball, usually after a shoot around, I'll walk around. You know what? It's one thing. You know me. I've told you this before. I love stadiums. I love arenas. I love game night. But I love being able to walk around campuses and to have that time. And usually if someone who really knows it can show you some things, it's so much fun. I think it just adds to our trips.
Absolutely. And you take advantage of being able just to have all those different experiences. He is Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies. Again, 5 o'clock pregame kickoff at 6 tomorrow. Listen to him on KTSA AM 550 and 107.1 FM. Great dude, agrees with me. Wear my blue shirt. It's been consistent all year. Don't worry about orange. Andrew, I appreciate you having my back on this.
Absolutely, my friend.
Good stuff. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies. Always fun visiting with Andrew every week before the A&M Aggies have a game. And boy, do they've got a big one coming up tomorrow against Ole Miss. And if you're listening to it, if you're looking for a place to watch it, the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road, which after the UTSA game is where I'm going to end up to be able to watch that Aggie game. And in between listening to Andrew on the radio, it's going to be a fun time. Spurs do play tonight. And they're going to be a bit shorthanded. They've got the Mavs in town. And Pledge, I know you're going to have this coming up in Sports Center, but they're down another player. James Pledge will tell you about that coming up. They're only going to have 10 active guys going tonight. You know, depending on how your weekend goes, I know everybody has those big weekend plans, especially if you're going orange out and then you end up arrested. You're already wearing the right color, but you want to get out of jail fast. You know, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. For stress-free bail bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, leaving the Alamo Dome, license number 149. AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com. Jon Machota from The Athletic joins us next to talk Cowboys after we get the latest from James Pledger in Sports Center.
Excellent, Jason. Well, like you said, the Spurs down yet another player as Keita Bates-Diop has a low back contusion and is out for tonight's game. The Spurs will have just 10 players available when they take on the Mavs tonight. Derek White, DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, Drew Eubanks, Trey Jones, Bryn Forbes, Lonnie Walker, Devin Vassell, and Thaddeus Young. The Spurs will be taking on the Mavericks tonight at the AT&T Center. Tip-off is set for 7:30. And college hoops this weekend. Tonight at 7, Texas State takes on LSU. Texas Tech will welcome Grambling into Lubbock for a 7 o'clock tip. And Texas A&M plays host to Abilene Christian at 7. While tomorrow night, it's a battle of top 5 teams in Spokane as the 5th-ranked Texas Longhorns take on top-ranked Gonzaga with tip-off set for 9:30 tomorrow night. And soccer, San Antonio FC continues USL playoff action as they welcome Rio Grande Valley into town for a semifinal match. Kickoff between SAFC and the Rio Grande Valley Toros is set for 8 o'clock tomorrow night from Toyota Field. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game and a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Step up your lunch game at Twin Peaks. Light and hearty combos put together for you starting at just $7.99, featuring savory soups, crisp salads, and a variety of sandwiches to satisfy every craving. Enjoy your next lunch break at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
Hundreds of thousands of people have said goodbye to their overpriced Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switched to Pure Talk on the same great 5G coverage as one of those carriers. Get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. The average family is saving over $800 a year. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say half off, and you'll save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say half off.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Lowe's Provember event is back. In celebration of pros, we're offering special values on top tools to get any job done right. Head into Lowe's and check out the largest selection of DeWalt power tools and accessories. Right now, you can get a guaranteed tough DeWalt 20-volt max bare tool free when you buy a DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kit. Shop in-store or order online. Lowe's, the new home for pros. Valid through 1/5 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. U.S. only.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your baby monitor research. If you're using too much diaper cream, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Aw, how old are they? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Go to sasportstar.com. Our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge brought to you by Pinkerton's Barbecue. Make sure you get those picks in. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Pinkerton's and also to Mellow Mushroom. And when you get down to Cowboys and Falcons, maybe you need to listen to what Jon Machota has to say before you make that selection. Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us now. And, 2 weeks ago, I didn't think this was going to be a tough game for the Cowboys. After watching last week's game against Denver, I'm not so sure. What's been the mood like this week after that butt kicking they had last week? What's it been like around the players at the Star?
When they've talked to us, I feel like it's been business as usual with a little bit of, maybe even a little bit of embarrassment just because of how bad that game went. It'd be one thing if they just lost plays. It's another to be down 30-0 late in the fourth quarter. I would say very businesslike. I thought it was interesting today that Mike McCarthy said that he thought they were really tight the last couple of days. And because of that, kind of changed a little bit the way they did their team meeting and kind of wanted to loosen them up a little bit because, he talked about how that was important to get them to where they are. The 6-1 start was that, there was a good vibe going and guys are really having, a good bond and he doesn't want that to go away. He thinks that's an important thing. So he made sure to, kind of have them loosen up a little bit today because he thinks that they've been, probably a little too hard on themselves going into this game. He doesn't want them to be tight and trying to, not nervous, but kind of overdo it. So I think that they're going to be very businesslike. I think there's plenty of motivation that comes off that game. And the other part of it is that the Falcons have been playing well recently. And obviously the Falcons and our opponent, they're going to know well with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt, DeMonte Casey, and Keanu Neal. So this is a good test coming at a good time for the Cowboys.
And you look at it from the offensive side, Tyron Smith has been ruled out for Sunday. Terrence Steele gets another crack at left tackle. He can't be much worse than he was last week. But I find it interesting hearing Mike McCarthy talk about another week of practice. You expect everything to be better. It's not like he's got months of practice. It's 3 or 4 days of really getting some work in. Can he show that kind of improvement inside of a week?
I think he can show enough that with the combination of some of the help that they'll probably give him, that I think he'll be okay. The big thing is with McCarthy is he's not going to come out there and say, yeah, this is just our best option. We don't have a lot of other great options. This is our best one. That doesn't mean he's going to be great. He's not going to say that about Terrence Steele. But I look at it from a standpoint just from being around Mike McCarthy and the way he's gone about his business and the way he really designs things with the team. I feel like this is more than just about Tyron Smith this year. This is about trying to develop Terrence Steele as potentially being your left tackle of the future, just because of the fact that Tyron just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And so that's where you're going to need him the most, is that left tackle. So why not start getting him that work there? So yeah, he's also, contributing right now, but he's also building himself for the future of being a guy that could potentially be their left tackle of the future. And that's what Mike McCarthy has done, is that, he's one of the reasons. I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there. I see them in my mentions all the time on Twitter. They get upset when they see what the Rams have been doing, going after, the Von Millers and, Odell Beckhams, and are like, why aren't the Cowboys doing this? Like, the Cowboys have a good, strong nucleus, and they're going to continue to build on it to where this isn't a 1 year, everybody throw everything in, or even 2 year. Like, they're building this thing for the Dak window, and that's what they're in right now. And that's going to be several years. Whereas with the Rams, when this thing is over in the next 2 or 3 years, they're going to drop off significantly. They're not building on this. They've traded away too many picks for them to continue to build. They're all in on just this season and probably next. Whereas this Cowboys window is bigger than just this year. And even with that all being said, they'll still hang with the Rams. Like, if they play the Rams in the playoffs, like, it ain't going to be the Rams are just going to blow them out. Like, no, this is a talented Cowboys team, and you're hoping that if you're Mike McCarthy, you're going to have Tyron Smith back for the, at 100% or at least as close to as possible for the playoff run. But in the process, maybe you develop your left tackle of the future as well.
Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz, talking Cowboys, Falcons. Dak obviously was off target last week against Denver. First game in a couple of weeks for him. Didn't have as much time as he normally does. But also, I was at the game, and my seats were end zone seats, so it's kind of like watching the All-22. Amari Cooper had a rare drop. I believe that was his first of the season. But one of the things I noticed from Amari and CeeDee Lamb is they weren't getting separation from the corners of the Denver Broncos. And I heard Amari in an interview this week talk about his ankle injury. And we know that CD had tweaked his ankle last week in practice. Now they're out there. You should be able to play your game. And while they weren't using injuries as an excuse, how much do you think those two receivers' injuries factored into the offense not getting as much done last week as we expect?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point that Amari made, but it's a great point in a game that maybe is, like I said, at least 30-20 going into the fourth quarter. The fact that they were completely shut out, I don't think that that's enough of an excuse for that type of performance. If they come up short in the game, that's one thing. But to be completely blown out, I'll take Amari Cooper at 50%, CeeDee Lamb at 50%, and Cedric Wilson and some of the other weapons they have on offense. You still should be able to put up points. So while it's in an interesting point, because both receivers are clearly not moving like they normally do, that I don't think it's any excuse for a shutout. The one thing, though, is that's nice about this week is that you get Michael Gallup back on top of that. So just another weapon there. But I get it, and that makes sense for a loss. I just don't know if that's enough of an excuse to be shut out. There's just still too many weapons on that, even with those guys not at 100%.
It's hard to explain this, Dave. And I know they got the 2 touchdowns late, and if you got Dak in fantasy, you're happy with some late production. But in reality, I mean, that offense was just awful, and they deserved to get shut out in that game. But you look around some of the weirdness that we saw last week with Buffalo and Jacksonville and some of the other games, and then even last night with Miami taking out Baltimore. I mean, it's kind of weird to say what's been going on in the NFL, because nobody saw any of that coming.
No, absolutely not. And I think that that's one of the things that, you see Baltimore last night, and you just look at the whole landscape of the entire NFL, like there's no team out there that, and I like I said, the Rams getting Beckham and getting Von Miller, people think that, yeah, maybe that's the team, or, obviously Tom Brady and that defending Super Bowl champs Bucs team, but, or the Cardinals. None of those teams are ones that, if you're the Cowboys, you even coming off this Broncos loss, that you shouldn't be able to compete with. I mean, this Cowboys team, as long as they're not, like I said, I expect them to have Lawrence back and Gregory back and Tyron Smith when it comes time to play one of those teams, but there's nobody that's really pulling away from the pack. And so that is an interesting thing from a Cowboys perspective. Like, I don't think that Cowboys fans should be expecting them to get the number 1 overall seed and getting a bye in the first round. And frankly, I don't know that that's a great thing for this team anyway. I think they need to play every week. That rust was pretty considerable last week, especially with Dak having not played for 2 weeks. I think playing every week might not be a bad thing for this team. One other thing I wanted to add on the last point is the Malik Turner on those 2 touchdowns late. Don't sleep on him not being a part of this whole game plan against Atlanta too. I mean, Cedric Wilson is dealing with a shoulder injury. Michael Gallup might have a little bit of rust having not played in an actual game, even though he's looked good in practice. And then again, CD and Amari coming back from their injuries, they'll be closer to 100% than they were a week ago. But yeah, Malik Turner is an interesting one to keep an eye on too, because he's certainly going to be up and active for this game. So who knows? Maybe he gets a few balls thrown his way when not when they're down 30, but in actual meaningful moments.
And was said, who's going to return punts?
I think that's another one. So maybe CeeDee Lamb can do it, obviously. And if he doesn't, maybe that is something that they have Malik Turner do, or another one of the receivers. But yeah, no, that'll be an interesting part of this game. Special teams in general, just because of the fact that they aren't going to have their normal kicker either. So no, that's a good point too. I'll just say that, frankly, if they play like they're supposed to play, that little stuff shouldn't matter, because they should put up 35 points.
They should. Although I look at Atlanta, they've played 6 straight games that have been 1-possession final scores, and coming off a win over New Orleans, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. There's no Randy Gregory. Do you expect to see Micah Parsons doing more pass rushing, or what do the Cowboys do to try to make up for the loss of Randy Gregory?
I think that you'll see Micah Parsons rush a little bit more, but I don't think you'll see him move from being a traditional linebacker, particularly on first and second downs. Because the thing is that if you just go in with with Micah just being, the Randy replacement, and he's just going to be a right edge, then you're not going to play the whole game. I mean, edge rushers just can't play the entire game just because of the wear and tear and the things that they're doing. And then just how fresh you want them for the fourth quarter. Whereas when Micah plays at the linebacker role, he can play every snap. And I think that that's more what they're going to do is kind of keep him as more of a chess piece, where more linebacker first and second down, third downs, they'll allow him to be an extra edge rusher there. But I think to make up for Randy, you're going to have to see more of a rotate, where you'd leave Randy out there a little bit more. You're just going to have to see more of Terrell Basham. You're going to have to see more of Dorrance Armstrong, Chauncey Golston. It's going to have to be done in a group as opposed to just getting one guy. And that's not ideal against Matt Ryan, So like you said, it probably will be a higher scoring game. But on the flip side, if you're Dak Prescott, this is the secondary you want to get back on track against. The Denver secondary, the Denver secondary, I believe for the season, they're at 57% completion percentage. I believe it's tops in the NFL. Atlanta's down at the bottom. They're allowing, I believe it's around 68% completion percentage. Opposing quarterbacks against are a passer rating of 104 on average, and they haven't even faced any good quarterbacks outside of Brady. And when they faced Brady, he threw for 5 touchdowns against them. So, we might be seeing an entertaining shootout on Sunday. That's certainly a possibility. But in the end, the Cowboys still have more weapons. They still should win this game.
Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. I know what Dan Quinn said on the podium, but how personal is this for Dan Quinn?
Oh, it's got to be personal. I don't know how it wouldn't be. I mean, I think it's personal if you're a head coach and you coached 5 other NFL teams, but this being the only team that you've been the head coach of, he's got tons of respect for Matt Ryan. You can tell just for his conversations this week and Matt Ryan's that they're obviously close. They still keep in touch. And that'll help that he knows, little things that maybe not everybody else knows about Matt Ryan, things that he, doesn't like, things that kind of get him going in the passing game and stuff like that. So, all the players kind of downplayed it and said it's just another week, and he's not saying anything different, and he doesn't have to. The players know it, and so they might not be carrying it during the week, but when that game starts, I certainly think that they're going to want to win for Dan, and they're not going to say it, but particularly on defense, they're going to want to win this game for Dan Quinn, and I think that's a good thing, but I don't know if they need much motivation outside of the fact the way they played last Sunday.
Absolutely. Jon Machota from The Athletic. Make sure you're following him on Twitter at Jon Machota, Jon Machota, and make sure you're subscribing to The Athletic. Knucklehead question for you, John. We've been having this debate throughout the show. The UTSA Roadrunners, they are undefeated on the season. They're ranked in all the polls, including the playoff poll. They got in there this week. They got a big game tomorrow against a 1-8 Southern Miss team. They're favored by 33. They're having an orange out in the Dome. I don't like wearing orange. Should I buy an orange shirt to wear to the game tomorrow, or just go with the blue shirt that I've been wearing all year?
Ooh, that's tough. That is tough because normally I would say you have to the orange because you have to support the rest of what everyone else is doing. It's one of my favorite things about college football is I love when, I think the best is probably Penn State with the white out, but I mean, certainly Nebraska's had some, great all red and all that. But man, that is tough because you do want to go all orange, but they're undefeated and you've been wearing that same shirt for all the games. I think you got to stick with what works, or what you do is you wear that shirt anyway, but you wear the orange one over the top of it. And you just buy one just to fit in with the rest of the group.
Well, see, I only have one shirt, and if they were doing a white out or a blue out, I'd be all in. Even when my daughter was at Sam Houston State, they're predominantly orange. All my shirts were blue or black, or UT. I've got black ones or white ones. I don't like orange. I don't look good in orange. I don't want to look like a big pumpkin.
Well, sometimes you just got to do it for the team, but whatever you do, you have to wear that same shirt that you've been wearing. I mean, if you don't wear that, they might lose this game, regardless of the spread. You have to wear that shirt still.
All right, but you actually bring up something that nobody else did. It's one of the great things of college football when you see, like if they were trying something like, at an NFL game, yeah, you just wear whatever you wear. But that whole college, you actually make a good point that, I may or may not get an orange shirt that I could wear Saturday and then donate it on Monday to like Goodwill or something, because I'll never wear it again.
So I've only been to 2 Texas OU games since I've been down here, mainly because I hate that they start at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Terrible. But I can tell you this right now. One of them was at AT&T Stadium for the Big 12 championship game, and then one was one of the Red River rivalry games probably 7 or 8 years ago. I can't tell you anything I remember from the actual game, but I will tell you I will never forget when I first walked in there and saw the way that the stadium was burnt orange on one side and then crimson and cream on the other. Like, that is amazing. And obviously when they played in AT&T Stadium for the Big 12 championship game, like, it wasn't like that, but the way that they do that at the Cotton Bowl for that particular game is just so cool. So yeah, it's like, I don't get that same feeling in pro football, but for college football, the band, like all the pageantry, the history and stuff like that. And then things like that are just, I don't know, they just make it football special. So I kind of like it. Me personally, I would probably just go and get the orange shirt, but if you're that against it, and you don't think you look good in it, well, just go with what's been working.
Peer pressure is a bitch, man. I'm going to get home tonight. My wife is going to have gone to the store and gotten me an orange shirt. Yes. I already know that's what's going to happen. Peer pressure will win out. Jon Machota. Jon Machota from The Athletic. Always appreciate it, my friend. We'll visit next week.
Sounds good. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate it. Jon Machota from The Athletic. Always good stuff. See, he brings up the Penn State whiteout and that tradition and how cool that is in college football. He's right. He's right. I'm going to end up in an orange shirt. Or not. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. I know if I do a Twitter poll, I know what it will be, so I'm not even going to bother. Besides that, Michael Jimenez is the king of Twitter polls, and, he's down for the count now because, he's getting out of the game because, I don't know, kidney stones or something like that. Thanksgiving is just a couple of weeks away. You got to start thinking about the star of the show, and that is the turkey. And the best place to go get your turkey is Tri-County Meat Market. Their turkeys come from Barber Farms in Colorado. And those turkeys right now, They're living a great life, ready to be on your kitchen table for your Thanksgiving dinner in a couple weeks. They're alive right now. These turkeys are fresh, all natural turkeys. They are never frozen. But at Tri-County, they only get a limited number of turkeys. So you've got to get in and reserve your turkeys. And the only size turkeys they have left are between 12 and 20 pounds. And they're probably going to be sold out by this weekend. So Monday, Tuesday, and I'll let you know if you've missed out on the opportunity. But you know you're going to be going into Tri-County Meat Market this weekend to get some great meat for your grill. Reserve your turkey this weekend. You cannot put it off any longer if you want to make sure you get one of the best turkeys you're able to buy, and that is the Tri-County Meat Market turkeys that come from Barber Farms in Colorado. But again, the only turkeys they have left are the 12 to 20 pound variety. You can go reserve them at either of their locations, and while you're there, get dessert too. They get their pies from the Ultimate Cheesecake Bakery, and you got to put in your reservation for that as well. And of course, for this weekend, for the grilling, stock up on the Pig 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Those two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, online, tricountymeat.com.
If it's rim wrecking, board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Amy, I need to sell my car, but there's so many choices out there. What should I do?
Why not try CarZeus? We do things differently here. You get to talk to really nice people via phone call or text message. And because your time is valuable, we are by appointment only. Most people walk out in under an hour with cash in hand. Also, if you have an offer from the other guys, we'll do our best to compete and keep your business local.
What's the catch?
No catch. Just go to CarZeus.com. That's CarZeus.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll take it from there. CarZeus, where you, your time, and money are valuable.
The Camera Exchange is having their biggest sales event of the year, the 2021 Fall Expo, November 19th to the 21st. The Camera Exchange will pay sales taxes on all Canon purchases, including the Canon R5, Canon R6, Canon T8i, and the Canon RF 50mm 1.2. Everyone will get a gift card at the door worth up to $200 and prizes every day. The Camera Exchange Fall Expo, November 19th to the 21st. The Camera Exchange, 1 mile inside Loop 410 on San Pedro, online at camerax.com.
If you and your spouse went from I do to I don't, it may be time to walk down a new aisle. Call DivorceDude.com at 210-201-0303 and ask for Mark, the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. DivorceDude.com can help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude can fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. If the marriage is over, why fight? DivorceDude.com.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
The Rock the Mic finale will be live at the Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar North Star location next Thursday. We will have our final three and our Jim Beam wild card with us, and we're deciding the Rock the Mic 2021 champion. Who's going to be our next champ? Join us at the OG Slackers North Star location and help us congratulate our new ESPN Sports Star team member, and you can enter to win Dallas Cowboys home game tickets. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect fever is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price, plus an extra 20% off virtually everything. Yes, it's happening next weekend, November 19th through 21st. 3 days of spectacular store-wide savings. All rings, all earrings, all pendants, all bracelets, all on sale. This is the biggest and last sale of the year, the one where they break all the rules. The selection is like double the norm. Designers are here with their entire line, all at the absolute lowest prices of the year, plus special financing next weekend. Details at diamondsdirect.com. At the shops at La Cantera.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
The Dallas Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons. This one will be a pad pounder. Get the call live Sunday at noon. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Rob Thompson on your home for Dallas Cowboys football. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Of course, the Cowboys play the Falcons this weekend. Coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, we'll replay Mike McCarthy's conversation with Rob and Rudy this morning when he was on R&R in the Morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. But, we got the Spurs. They are in action tonight.
This is Manu Ginobili.
This is Matt Bonner.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray.
This is Keldon Johnson from the San Antonio Spurs. This is San Antonio Sports Star.
It's game night, San Antonio.
Spurs Mavericks tonight down at the AT&T Center. And I think we can actually still call it the AT&T Center. It won't be the Fred's Fish Fry Forum for at least another year if Fred's Fish Fry can come up with the money. It's interesting that they have taken the naming rights. AT&T, we know, isn't going to renew. But it seemed to take a while before the Spurs announced they had hired a global-type company to go find a new naming right. So I'm guessing Frost and HEB, USAA, some of the local companies. I saw USAA this last week, last game, dedicated a private VIP entrance for military members, which I think is awesome. The idea, though, that now they're going to go find a new name for the AT&T Center. So we'll wait and see. But for now, it's the AT&T Center. The Mavericks come in. They've beaten the Spurs twice already this season. And in both games, I thought San Antonio should have won. Both of them, the one up there and the one here. And I was mad after the one here because of the way the Spurs had been playing. Couldn't close out in the fourth quarter. Dallas is defensively challenged. I just look at this Mavericks team and go, they're beatable. The Spurs should beat the Dallas Mavericks. And then I see what San Antonio did the other night. Well, they have 18 three-pointers in that game, Pledge. 18 made three-pointers, which is a season high.
18 of 32.
They led wire to wire against the Sacramento Kings. They showed they could play for 4 quarters, and they played really good basketball. Can they do that for a second game in a row? And again, I'm looking for the small victories, these silver and black linings, if you will, but a little win streak and a win over Dallas. I'm down for that. I look. They're not. I don't want them to get 40 wins. I don't want them to get 40. I don't want them to screw up what they've got going on. Just beat Dallas. And they can. Although, Pledge, in your Sports Center a little while ago, extremely short-handed. Got a back injury now with Keita. He's out. So they got 10 guys, man. You're going to get guys getting a lot of minutes.
It's 10 guys. Keita Bates-Diop has a lower back contusion is what it was called.
So he fell on his butt?
Sounds like it.
Yep. Maybe Derek White has a breakout game tonight. And I'm going to tell you why. He posted on his social media a picture of a sonogram and little baby shoes. He got married over the summer, and apparently he and his wife Hannah have one in the oven. So now he's got to make sure he can play well enough to keep his job, because he's got a baby on the way, and kids aren't cheap. So when you look at it, he's been in such a funk, and maybe the baby news will get him out of his funk. Maybe that will kick him into high gear. And who knows? I mean, because obviously you don't just show up and post that he's known for a while and they've confirmed things and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't say when the baby's coming, but there is a future Derek White in within the next 9 months. Maybe with that news today, he's excited, celebrate. All right, I'm having a baby. Now I got to go to work. I got to buy a crib. I got to buy a stroller. I got to buy little baby monitors. I got to do some things. Maybe this is what gets him out of his funk. The day he announces he's about to be a daddy, he goes out and gets 35.
One can hope, because we need Derek White to play well on this team if they are going to win games.
Well, and again, I look at, DeJounte's coming off of a strong game. I mean, a lot of people played well, especially off the bench. Vassell played well against Sacramento. If you get decent play from Derek White, this team is going to have a chance to win. But he's just got to get out of his funk. I mean, I heard Michael Jimenez on halftime complaining he's the highest paid player. He needs to do. Dude, he's making $15 million. I mean, that's just such a dumb argument from Michael Jimenez to put a paycheck next to production. There's a lot of guys making a lot of money who don't produce in the NBA. But they need Derek White to play at the level we've seen him play. Yeah, last year he didn't play well. Dealt with injuries, dealt with COVID, didn't play enough. He's getting an opportunity now to get more playing time. He's not a role player anymore, but he needs to play like a starter. He needs to put up starter-type minutes. Going to be an interesting one tonight down at the AT&T Center. Spurs and Mavericks. As we continue here on the Blitz, we're going to let you listen to what Mike McCarthy had to say. If you weren't up at 6:40 this morning, you didn't hear Mike McCarthy on R&R in the morning trying to pronounce his kicker's name. You'll be able to hear it coming up here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Listeners of the Paul Feinbaum Show come from all parts of the South.
I live in the mountains.
They're passionate about the SEC.
I've been drinking a little beer this afternoon, and I've got the feeling that we're going to be Georgia by 3.
They're a rowdy bunch.
Woo! Yeah, pigs do it!
And they're the most honest people you will ever meet.
Yeah, do like me. I've given up women and turned to porn.
There's nothing like the SEC. Talk SEC with Paul Feinbaum. Weekdays 2 to 4, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The annual San Antonio Auto and Truck Show is November 12th through the 14th. See new cars and trucks, extraordinary exotics, and learn about the latest in energy efficiency. Take part in exclusive ride-in drives, all new experiences, kids' activities, and the food truck fiesta. Don't miss it.
Get some green, cash, money when you bring us your old or used Kubota equipment. That's dinero in your pocket. Or trade in for a brand new Kubota compact tractor, Kubota construction equipment, or whatever else you might have on your Kubota wish list. Breaking up is hard to do, but we're talking green, baby, and a little holiday cash makes for some happy reindeer. So don't miss out on the Ewald Kubota Trade Orange for Green holiday cash offer going on now.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. At Comalander Stadium, our Hill Electric High School Game of the Week playoff edition tonight. We'll have Reagan and East Central. Kevin Brock and myself will have the call coming up. Pregame show at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Of course, on Sunday in the NFL, you're going to have the Cowboys taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Cowboys coming off of a loss. They got their ass kicked last week by the Denver Broncos. And, last year, Mike McCarthy's first year, when Mike McCarthy decided that he likes to do his radio interviews. And the guy does 2 interviews a week with the same people. And in San Antonio, we're lucky enough to be one of 2. He goes on 105.3 The Fan every week, and he comes on San Antonio Sports Star every week. Well, last year, Rob Thompson and I, we were doing an afternoon show, but we did breakfast with the Blitz because Mike McCarthy likes to do his interviews early in the morning and on a Friday. Where Jason Garrett, we had him Mondays at 4:30. So after loss, he got to explain in his 4-word answers every week the same thing over and over again, but at least it was 4:30 Monday. So last year, when we were getting up early, we decided the new coach, and Mike McCarthy's from Pennsylvania, spent, a decade in Green Bay. That guy doesn't know breakfast tacos. So we sent him some breakfast tacos, and he liked them. And so this is all Rob's doing. He might need to start a GoFundMe or something because Rob actually pays for that and the station doesn't reimburse him. And he didn't want any money from me last year and he's not taking any money from Rudy. It's kind of Rob's thing. But he decided he's going to send breakfast tacos to the coach after wins. Well, last year it didn't cost Rob a whole lot of money because they didn't win a lot. This year, Rob's going broke sending breakfast tacos. And then you realize Mike McCarthy takes the breakfast tacos to the quarterback room meeting. So we know what Dak likes and we know what Cooper Rush likes, and Zeke is always in there. So Zeke is eating, because Zeke goes to the quarterback meetings. And then, of course, there are some very important people that work in the building that help us, so we make sure they get their tacos. But Rob only sends them after wins. Well, I told Rob it was Mike McCarthy's birthday this week. You got to send tacos even though they lost. Rob didn't send tacos. So I was very curious to see if Mike McCarthy was going to give those boys some crap today because they didn't send breakfast. This is Mike McCarthy on with R&R this morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a good week. Got home just in time for a little cake and ice cream.
Oh, nice. All
now,
right.
Do they, when you walk in the locker room, is there a surprise? Does the team sing to you? How does the NFL a birthday go for a head coach?
Well, every day in the team meeting, we identify birthdays. So we have a nice PowerPoint of each person on their birthday, and then there's some pictures from the past that that everybody gets a kick out of. And so we try to celebrate everybody's birthday. And so having editing rights over the team meeting, obviously I didn't put mine in there, but then some guys trumped it, and then so it ended up showing up. So I got a nice little birthday.
All right.
Good, man. That's good.
And, with some old high school pictures, and I think they all got a kick out.
Nice. Well, your birthday gift from the NFL was 3 games in 12 days. So happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
We talk about that because it's been a point of emphasis, health and safety. And then they hand you 3 games into it. Like, I would imagine the body doesn't recover well in that short time span.
No, hey, it's a great question, and it's something that I think people don't realize how much time the coach and the football operations staff you spend on those schedules, especially during this stretch here. And you have tracking devices, the GPS, and they give you good information, but it's difficult. And frankly, we'll start preparing for it after this game, leading into Kansas City, because it's you have to watch the workloads and what these these men put their bodies through on a normal 7-day, rotation. And just like you said, you got 3 games in 12 days. So it's something that, actually, I got the schedule sitting here right in front of me. I was looking at it before I started the show. So, yeah, a lot of thought goes into that.
I'm sure that it does, Coach. And, it's odd that over the last week or so, all of the teams that have had good starts to the season, winning, we've seen you guys and everybody else seem to have kind of stumbled. We saw Baltimore stumble last night, and we can talk about the rest of the NFL. And you try to look for reasons behind a mass kind of casualty event like we've seen on the top of the division. Is there something to do with the scheduling of the season, the extra week? I mean, what happened? Because obviously it happened to Cowboys and others. Just every team seemed to get a little flat and a little either full of themselves or just into the mid-season doldrums. Did you sense that coming into this week?
Well, I think you have to look at it from both perspectives. You have 2 teams. One that has one has a better record than the other, and and the team that doesn't have the better record, they're getting to the point in the season where they have to make a move. So it's about the emotional challenge that you go through every week. Also, when you have success, the more success you have, the bigger the target is on you. So you're always going to get the other guy's best shot. Dallas Cowboys brings another layer of intensity playing at AT&T. People, it's just the opportunity to play in our stadium. So there's a lot of energy that the opponent brings into our place, and it's all part of the weekly challenge that we understand. We didn't play our best football fundamentally at the end of, particularly at the end of plays. Our finish just wasn't what it was the first 7 weeks. So that's something we've been focused on all week.
Yeah, staying on the Denver game, Coach, because I'm sitting there yelling at the TV just like every other fan. You get a punt block. Did you know that rule? Like, I didn't understand. I was like, because I don't even think Denver did, because when he got the ball, it seemed like he was trying to get a first down. And then they say Denver's ball. Like, did you understand what was going on with that whole scenario?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been 3 of them in the last 10 years. And unfortunately, I've been part of 2 of them.
Wow. I did not know that. So you knew.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there like, damn, that's their ball. You already knew.
Well, I was kind of, our angle was the ball was on the line of scrimmage, because it was close. You could see you could see the position Nation was in. It was more of a reaction, because how many times you block a punt,
right,
and the ball crosses the line of scrimmage. It just doesn't happen very often. And so that's where that's with the review process, and looking at it on film afterwards, I think it was blocked on the 18, and then it hit Nation on the 19. So it was the correct call. Why the hell they have the rule? I don't know.
Yeah, that's isn't Jerry on the rules committee? Because I think if we all gather together, if you don't get a first down, you don't get the ball back. That should be at the end of the day the rule where it should be. I've never two of the 3 you've been a part of. Congratulations, Coach. That's worthy. Offensive line.
It's a thing. Yeah,
let's test Coach McCarthy's knowledge of the rule book. What are you going to Coach, Terrence is a good friend of ours here in San Antonio kid, but we all saw the problem. And I know another week of practice was certainly needed. Where is he today as opposed to where he was a week ago today?
Well, I would definitely say he's a little more comfortable. It's just like anything. I mean, the full speed reps, particularly in the pass rushes, that's where really some of his challenges came last week in the pass protection. So, I'm confident that Terrence will have a good week this week.
I enjoyed the last time, Randy Gregory, we talked about the injuries, and I think that possibly could have something to do with the crazy schedule you guys are on. I enjoyed watching Micah come off the edge week 2 or 3 when he had to do it. Will we see Micah, doing his best impression of Khalil Mack this weekend?
The game is at noon. Don't be late. That's my standard answer this week. But
okay,
I think there's always situations where you'll see Micah come off the edge. So, and I just think the ability for him to play both positions is unique, because he can do it at such a high level. And I know as an offensive coach in this league, the more you move him around, the tougher it is on the offense. So he's a unique football player to have that edge rush, and also the ability to he's so impactful from the Mike linebacker position. So we'll kind of stay the course with him.
He is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, brought to you every week by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, let's continue on that injury train. Randy Gregory out on IR for a bit. Dorrance Armstrong back. How does he looking? And Michael Gallup, what's the expectation there?
Dorrance looks good. Randy obviously had the injury Wednesday in practice. So Michael Gallup's had 2 really good weeks. So I would fully expect coming off the field Saturday, everything is in place that we'll see Michael Gallup this Sunday.
If Sed's out, and who's returning punts?
Games at noon.
Thank you. I mean, God, you guys are.
That's not. I mean, I can understand.
There or what?
Coach, I can understand the strategy
Robin,
and the value of keeping some things quiet, but your punt returner? I'm just trying to fill out my stat stuff. Okay, all right.
You never know what Bones has up his sleeve.
Okay.
So, can you pronounce your new kicker's name?
No, that's not fair. I'm still working on his last name.
Do we have a number assigned so at least he knows when you're calling him?
Are you a little worried though? I mean, you bringing in the guy Zerline has made some clutch kicks. Nobody loves or hates the kicker until he misses one or makes one to win the game.
Yeah, I hear you. It's today's NFL. I mean, the pandemic is still very much part of our everyday lives, and you just got to keep rolling with it. So I'm just thankful that we have the roster, structure that we have, this year and last year. I think it gives you a realistic opportunity to deal with these things, especially with the timing of them, so we'll just make the best of it.
And this roster thing you speak of, this toothpaste out of the tube, you don't think that's ever going to go away, right?
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I'll keep it out of the tube, and this is the way it should be. Because I think like anything in this league, especially the last 15 years, it's about developing young players. You don't have resources to really do that outside of your own organization. So the fact that we have 85 players in the building right now, whether on IR, practice squad, and all those things, and this is the way it should be, in my opinion, because it gives you a chance to keep developing young players and developing your football team, and then when you do have situations, your adjustments are made internally. And to me, that's better than any minor league football system out there. Just give the 32 teams an extra 10, 15 guys, and we got the best facilities and training in the world for our sport. Let's take full advantage of it.
Coach, I'm always curious about the witchcraft of motivating and keeping teams moving along. And after last week, did you put something in your own particular coaching manual? Did you see it coming? Did you feel like it was possible that the team just was going to be out of kilter and not, just not firing on all cylinders? And if you did, how do you prepare for something like that? Do you start guarding yourself against that, or is it just next play, let's do it?
No, I mean, it's something you're always looking at the pulse of your football team. Frankly, I have a really cool video about don't take the cheese, and it has some humor to it. But
we like that down here. That's that's been a thing down here. Don't eat the cheese. Coach, you're a gambler, man. You're a gambler, Coach. Fourth down. Are you fourth down? Is that analytics, manalytics? Where do you just go with your gut on fourth downs?
No, it's all. I'd say it's a combination of both. But particularly early in the game, there's we have a fourth down plan each week. No different than third and 1, 3rd and 2 to 3, 3rd and 4 to 6. So our fourth down plan is something. Actually, we have a competitive fourth down period every Thursday. The offense goes against the defense for 5 plays. So it's a focus of ours, and I'm just a big believer in return on investment. The things that you practice and emphasize each and every day, it's got to show up on Sundays. So it's definitely not a gut thing. I mean, it's something that's it's practiced, and it's a mindset going into each game based on where and when and how often we'll think we'll go for it on fourth down.
Have you ever gone for it on fourth down more for your team just to get themselves right and less about them and, game down and distance and all that? Have you ever decided we got to get this just so we can prove to ourselves that we can get this?
Well, I think part of that mindset is something that you come out of training camp with, because I think there's things you should try early in the season to so your football team, they need to be in that situation. I mean, I'd hate to not go for a fourth down all year. Then you get to the first playoff game and you got fourth and 2 staring you right in the face, and it's the first time you've really put your team in that situation too. So that thought process is always at the forefront of my thinking as you navigate the season.
Going back to your time in Green Bay, Coach, you've had some playoff battles and regular season battles against Matt Ryan. Watching tape on Atlanta, it seems they're on the decline, but then they get a big win against the Saints last week. Well, what are some of the, and then they just added Pitts. What are you looking at with the Falcons this week, Coach?
Well, you have to be impressed with what they put on tape, especially last 3 out of 4 weeks. So, I mean, that's a big win. That's a rivalry win for, the Atlanta and New Orleans. That's, a rivalry in that division. So, you take all that into account. So, we got a hot team coming in here, confident team. Obviously, they're going to have more confidence based off of how we played this past week. So, this is going to be a dogfight. And, I think you look at their last, I think they've had 6 games come down to the last series of the game. So that's the kind of game we're preparing for.
Coach Mike McCarthy here with us as he is every week. We appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Coach.
Over the weekend. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
That was Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, on R&R this morning, brought to you by AAS Bail Bonds. Coach McCarthy joins Rob and Rudy every Friday here on San Antonio Sports Star. And a couple of things that were interesting with that is what we've heard so much from Jeff Traylor, about eating the cheese. And again, Jeff Traylor was not the first coach that says don't eat the cheese, but it became such a rallying cry with UTSA that every time you hear a coach use it now, you think, well, he stole that straight from Jeff Traylor in UTSA. And then you heard Mike McCarthy talking about how he's got a video that he showed. I wonder if that's the same video that Jeff Traylor was showing his UTSA Roadrunners. And then, of course, they come out flat in that game against the Denver Broncos last week. It just is what it is. He talked about showing the video, and then Jerry Jones goes on 105.3 The Fan, and guess what he's talking about? He's talking about don't go eat the cheese. That's not what they do there with the Dallas Cowboys, and it just kind of feels like everybody's stealing from Jeff Traylor. This was Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan.
Well, guys, this is a challenge, and this is going to be a significant game for us, but I can tell you one thing. You won't have any overconfident people coming to that stadium with the team or the coaches. We've had that cheese. Yeah,
they've already ate the cheese, and it was last week against the Denver Broncos. Speaking of eating the cheese and the UTSA Roadrunners, and I was at that Cowboys-Broncos game last week, and there was a lot of orange in that stadium. How many are going to end up in the Alamo Dome tomorrow? UTSA is favored by 33. I think there needs to be more than 33,000 in the dome. And it's an orange out game. I just don't want to wear an orange shirt. Kevin Brock, you're looking at me funny. Put your headphones on. All right, let me explain. Kevin Brock and I, while we've done high school football together for, 12, 13, 14 years now, we used to do a lot of UTSA basketball together on Time Warner Cable back when that used to be a thing. And then you were the PA announcer for UTSA for a number of years before you became the Spurs PA announcer. Big Kev, you look at I don't like orange. So here's the thing. Hear me out. One, I don't like orange. Right. Like Rudy J said, he's going to wear an orange shirt. That dude's going to look like a big old pumpkin, right? Rudy J in an orange shirt. When my daughter was at Sam Houston State, they're predominantly orange. My Sam Houston State shirts are blue or black. I've got one that's kind of half blue and orange on the bottom and kind of blue. UT, I'm a Longhorn fan. I do have a burnt orange shirt or two. I just don't wear them. Most of the UT shirts I wear are black or white. Most of my closet is blue polos. I only have one UTSA shirt. It's blue. And I've worn it to every UTSA game this year, and they're undefeated.
Well, then stick to it. But I'm going to say this. For everyone else, break out the orange. It's the sun kiss. That pure orange sun kissed. You will be making sure that the Alamo Dome is the big juice box. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that they come out there, and we're going to support them as we should, because I was watching the Cincinnati USF game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we game undefeated.
Absolutely. And again, I look at, two things. Do you think Jeff Traylor's going to wear an orange shirt?
Yes.
No.
He's going to wear it.
Jeff Traylor wears a crispy white hat. And he does get a new hat every week. He told me that because I asked him, how do you keep your hat so clean? I get a white hat, it's dirty in 10 minutes. And that guy's hat's always perfect. He gets a new hat every week. But he wears the same style of white hat. Got a box of them, right?
And then
he wears the same blue pullover.
Yeah.
He's been wearing it for 2 years, and then his pants, right? That dude is not going to show up in an orange shirt.
Remember, the orange out is for the fans.
Oh, okay.
For the fans. The coaching staff has their uniform.
Uh-huh.
And he's already made it clear that uniform is a navy blue half zip hoodie.
Does it count if there's like orange accents on the sleeve and on the sides? Does it have to be full on orange?
To get the effect, you need the full on orange.
Just to say that I participated. My UTSA hat has an orange bill.
I say this. As much as we should have an orange out for those who weren't going to games earlier in the year or years past, if you are a new UTSA bandwagon jumper, you need to break out the orangest orange you've ever had in life. But if you have been faithful and have a streak in what you've been wearing, because some of their football jerseys, I think we need to go ahead and stick with it. So how about that? Compromise?
Sure, I'm with you. And again, I guarantee you, I shut up, Pledge. I guarantee you that we'll be down there at the game tomorrow, and I'll see people with their Aggie shirts. I'll see people with their Longhorn shirts. I'll see people in a Spurs shirt.
See, that's out of line.
I'll see people in just whatever shirt they got. They'll put no thought into it, and you know what? They're going to be fine. Although, in talking to some people today, including like Jon Machota, he's like in college football, like the whiteout at Penn State, or that what they do is at Iowa State, where they always do the color shirt, and then they sing to the kids in the hospital, right? I mean, there are some things there that's pretty cool. And if UTSA is going to build this, it'd be nice to be a part of it. But again, I only have one shirt. Do I want to go buy a shirt that I'm only going to wear once? Oh, it's already been bought? How do you know?
Your wife was listening.
Go ahead, Joe.
Did she text you? She didn't text me.
Hey, you know what? That's why. That's why she is one of my favorite people on earth. Go ahead.
Well, she constantly wants me to add more color to my wardrobe anyway. She'll buy like she bought a yellow Arizona State shirt. I ain't ever wearing that.
Come on, Jay.
Wear blue or black. Every now and then I might break out red, and people think, "What's wrong with you?" I'm not going to do it. Let's talk some high school football. Our Hill Electric High School Game of the Week coming up next here on San Antonio Sports Starts, Reagan and East Central.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
ESPN